Hi, welcome to the Farm Kitchen. Today I'm making a smoky corn chowder with potatoes. Join me. All right, I'm making this recipe primarily because we have a lot of sweet corn. We have more than we can sell at the farm stand, and I've already frozen a bunch for our family, so I'm coming up with creative ways to use the corn. And my husband, Donnie, actually found this recipe, smoky, and it's actually a vegan recipe, but I'm not going to be making it vegan. So smoky corn chowder with potatoes. And we have the corn from our farm, and we actually just harvested potatoes yesterday. So we have our corn, our potatoes, but I have to go get a bunch of other stuff from the farm that are listed as ingredients. All right, so I got the peppers, got the thyme, and came up in the barn to get the onions. I have my onions all laid out, curing. They've been up here for about 2 more weeks, might need another week or 2. But then they should be ready to take in the house. But we had a great crop of onions.
So what do you have in your basket again, total?
Well, I got my peppers, my thyme, and my onions. The garlic is already in the house. And that is one thing I love about living on a farm. I decided at the last minute to make a recipe, and I need a few ingredients. So instead of running to Giant, I just go out to the garden, pick some peppers, pick some thyme, come up to the barn, grab some onions, get some garlic that I just picked, a month ago. I love having all that fresh food ready to go that I grew.
And I like it too because I don't have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah, really, this time.
Buddy, the barn cat there is guarding to make sure no little critters get your onions.
He does a good job.
He was catnapping though, but he's awake now.
All right, one of the cool things about this recipe that I've never seen before, after you cut the corn off the cob, they have you simmer the cobs in the broth for like 20 minutes. It says it imparts more of the corn flavor. So I don't know, I'm gonna try it and see what happens. And now the vegan recipe uses vegetable broth, but I'm using part turkey broth, part chicken broth from last year's canning. So it's gonna be soon time to make more broth because we're hitting the bottom of the barrel.
So is everything from this recipe coming from the farm? Because your broth is.
I think pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
There might be a little bit of cream we add that isn't from the farm. We don't have any dairy cows. I don't think we ever will. We like to work hard, but maybe not quite that hard. But yeah, I'll have to recap at the end and see if there's anything else that isn't from the farm. But that's a really good feeling. All right, I've been having my corn cobs simmering for about 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to take the cobs out and then let the broth sit. Meanwhile, I have olive oil warming in the pan, and it'll be about time to start sautéing the onions, the red pepper and purple pepper, and the celery. All right, I've had the veggies cooking for about 10 minutes. They are nice and soft. And now it's time to add in the garlic, the sun-dried tomatoes, and the thyme. And at this point, it is going to start smelling amazing. All right, I simmered the soup until the potatoes were nice and tender. Now at this point in the recipe, we take some of it out, put it in a blender, and blend it with a little cream to make it like a creamy, thick soup. Now in the recipe that's vegan, she used non-dairy stuff. I'm using half and half. I want the dairy. So I'll just pop some of this out. And I guess the starch from the potatoes and the starch from the corn, when you blend it, makes a nice creamy texture to the soup. But you still have all the other hunks in there. So put a little cream in there, and it's going to get noisy. Now notice I'm not measuring this.
No, so that's just half and half?
Yeah. Donnie likes creamy soup, so it's going to be creamy. All right, and with hot stuff, you got to be careful. I always have the lid kind of vented, and so I can control it and put it how much I want on, but let some of the steam out. I'll start slow. Let's blend it up. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay, then we pour it back in, and it should look more like a creamy soup then. This soup smells amazing. Now here comes the part where the cameraman is really getting involved. He is always my taster for soups. After I have all the ingredients in there, he usually tastes it and then makes any adjustments. He adds some really cool stuff to make things taste good.
I'm feeling the pressure already.
Oh, you always do a good job. He makes them taste much better than what I get it. So I get the basics and then he tweaks it. So time for him to be here tasting the soup, and I'll take over the camera.
All right, I'm gonna give it a taste here. I'm not sure how I end up being a taste tester, but I'm not qualified, but anyway, here it goes.
But you always seem to make the soups better by adding a little bit of something here and there. What's your first impression?
Bacon. Just kidding.
Well, actually, I could put bacon in it.
It wouldn't be a bad option, but I don't think that was the intent of the artist to create
the original recipe was vegan.
Yeah.
But we're not vegan, so we could put bacon in it.
No, I'm going to try to go with the spirit. It's got a lot of corn flavor. It is a little sweet. Sometimes I put soy and other things in, but that would just totally wipe out the sweet with it. So I think we're going to put, well, it definitely needs pepper to start with, some black pepper. And I think we're going to try some Worcestershire, and then we'll give it a taste after that. I have another idea, but let's see where this goes. Okay, we put in some Worcestershire, black pepper ground, and some salt. And let's see where we go from here. Give it a try. The salt really helped, and I like the Worcestershire. It gives it another element to it. It's pretty tasty. And it does have a little bit of heat. You did put some
Chipotle chili powder.
Yeah. I mean, it could use maybe a little bit more. I'd be afraid to put much more in it. The only other element is I'm getting the sweet, but I'm not getting the smoky. Maybe we should try to put a little bit of a smoke flavor in here to see if we can get it that
liquid smoke.
Sweet, spicy, and smoky. The three S's.
I think that would do it.
Okay.
Try it?
We'll try it.
All right, so the soup has been sitting there for about an hour, letting all the flavors, kind of melt together. And we're going to have it for dinner and enjoy it. So what did you add in the end?
I just put a little bit of smoke in at the end, but the Worcestershire primarily, just salt, pepper. So I guess, seasoned to taste.
Yeah.
It still has a little bit of zip in it from the pepper you put in.
Yeah.
What was
Chipotle chili powder.
Okay.
But if you want more zip, you can always put in some Tabasco sauce or something when you serve it. But it's pretty good.
So it's a peak of corn season, and
we have a lot of corn right now, so
I'm going to see how we make it.
good corn night. And the corn salad is surprisingly good. I can put that recipe down below too. Well, it's really good.
It's got corn, but it's got a lot of other veggies in there too, mostly tomatoes and cucumbers, and it's very good.
And feta cheese and basil and parsley, and then a homemade dressing. But it's actually pretty good. But that soup is good. I would make that again. That does use up a lot of corn.
Almost
So-
turned me into a vegetarian here.
Well, we have chicken broth in here, and
Oh, I'm not a purist.
this
anywhere
would actually be
close.
very good with chicken in it. If I made it
Yes.
again, I would probably put chicken in it.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
overall, it's really good.
Yeah.
So it was a success. It's always nervous trying something the first time. Like, is this going to be edible? Is it going to be good?
It's always good.
But it is really good. So
Well, hey, thanks for joining us on the farm.
for another adventure, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.